Okay, so I wanted to take a look at this if you haven't seen it already. It says right here after Trump's win, some women are considering the 4B movement. Now, in case you haven't seen this, this here just came out, and of course, it's in response to the recent election results. And this is not about politics. This is not about Trump. This is about what American women have decided they're going to do. Not all, but this is the movement. Let me qualify that. This is the ignorant and stupid movement that the more radicalized feminists are trying to get some steam, trying to get women to go for this. So now, first of all, the 4B movement, it involves basically a movement that originally started in South Korea several years ago, I think about 2016 or so. And Korean women went ahead and came up with this 4B response. And it was essentially their contemporary feminist movement. As you can see down here, it was a decision by South Korean women, the 4Bs. Now, each word starts with a B in Korean, but in English, it's basically a decision by women to refuse to marry, that's one, refuse to have children, refuse to date, and refuse to have sex with men. So those are the 4Bs that are being referred to here. And now, as you can see here, American women are trying to transfer that idea over as a very petty, and as we're going to see, really stupid response to the outcome of the election. Now, if we go down here just a little bit more, these women say they are enraged and fed up after a majority of their male counterparts voted for a candidate who was found liable for sexual abuse and whose appointment of 3 consecutive court justices led to the overturning of national abortion rights protections. Actually, it didn't eliminate it. It handed it over to the states for them to decide, but that's a whole other thing. So in response, they say that they're going to be swearing off of men and they're encouraging others around the country to join them. Now, here's the mindset. This is so ridiculous, and any of you that are in the United States can see the complete irony here. A woman in favor of this movement is quoted here saying, "We have pandered and begged for men's safety and done all the things that we're supposed to, and they still hate us." Okay, that is just so packed with BS, it's ridiculous. Women have not been pandering, in case you notice. Women have not been begging for the safety of men's authority. Women have not been doing everything that they're supposed to. They have not been doing any of this. This is the whole reason that the passport bro movement even got started. This is why MGTOW got started, because women were not behaving in a feminine way. They were rejecting the difference between the genders. So what this woman is saying shows that she has no clue what women have been doing to men, and it's not that men hate them. That's the other thing. Her conclusion is completely wrong. It's not that men hate women. Men actually want to have a good relationship with a woman, but they can't find it with these women who have done the exact opposite of what we would find attractive in a woman. So using this twisted logic of hers, her conclusion is, so if you're going to hate us, again, wrong, then we're going to do what we want. Well, nobody ever said you couldn't do what you want. The whole discussion was, if you're a woman, could you be feminine like a woman? Because if you're not, we don't find that attractive. So do what you want, just be ready to suffer the consequences of being passed over when we're looking for somebody to have a relationship with. So now we go further down here into the article, and this is where it talks about, I mentioned earlier, the 4 Korean words. What is it? I know I'll botch this up, but bihon, bichulsan, bionai, bisexual, which translates to no marriage, no childbirth, no dating, and no sex with men. Moving down a little bit more, yeah, the woman was killed in 2016 in Korea, and that's what spawned the whole 4B movement. These pictures here are from back then. There was a whole lot of support. Again, it was a really big movement there in Korea. Now, I'll give you the link as usual there in the description and the top comment so you can read the whole article. We're not going through the whole article right now, but I'm skipping down here to this part. And a woman says, I don't know if men are going to change their ways. I don't know how this is going to pan out. My goal in life in this movement is to protect young women and girls. Well, we already have laws against assault, sexual assault, rape, murder. We have protections in place. So I really don't know. She's acting like there are no protections for women or girls. What exactly are they being protected from? I'll bet you if you were to ask them, they would say, oh, they need protection from toxic masculinity. In other words, a man acting like a man. That is what they consider toxic, and that is what they consider a threat that young women and girls need to be protected from, which is, again, really stupid. Now, this is going to put a lot of women into a pickle that are already in a relationship with a man. So here you got this one, Abby, recently broke up with her boyfriend over dismissive comments he made about Trump's history of sexual abuse. When she posted a video about that and her decision to join the 4B movement, she says men flooded her DMs or PMs, private messages, with death threats and hate comments about her appearance. It doesn't exactly entice you to re-enter the dating pool. Okay, she wouldn't be re-entering the dating pool if she hadn't broken up with her boyfriend in the first place. But again, not to excuse guys that threatened her or all that, that's wrong. But the thing that can't be overlooked here is that this movement is not going to make things better. It's going to make things worse. Why did we even have a MGTOW movement or a Passport Bros movement? It was specifically because women were holding back sex. Women were not providing the sort of feminine behavior that men desire from a woman. And now they want to double down and make it even worse, make themselves even less attractive, and they actually think this is going to make things better. It's not. In the end, this will hurt women more than anything that men ever did, and this will hurt them more than feminism has hurt them in the last 20, 30 years. Because you know what? The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, and if they're going to stand there and say, I'm not going to make babies, I'm not going to have sex until men change all across society and stop acting like men and stop being a threat. Well, don't hold your breath for that day to come. And you know what? Like I said, the clock is ticking. For them, not for us. If men want to have kids, we can put that off till our 60s. Some even into their 70s. But them, once they start hitting the high end of 30, they better really start thinking about their priorities. And meanwhile, they're waiting for a huge social change to happen that's never going to meet their criteria. We got a quote from a person here, a woman. I think of a lot of American women are trying to find ways to seek empowerment. There's a slippery word. And find a way to survive. Oh my gosh, they're trying to find a way to survive. Really? As if their very survival rests on doing something like this to stay alive. Give me a break. She then goes into, well, I hope that they essentially recognize our reproductive rights and gender equality, yada, yada. Again, I'm all for equal pay for people with equal merit. Doesn't matter to me if they're a man or a woman. If they can do the job, they deserve the pay commensurate with their ability and experience. Now, if they can't do the job, then they should be paid less. So they've got my full support on equal pay, but they have to damn well be able to do the job as good as the person next to them and not expect they're going to get the same pay when they can't pull off the job to their employer's satisfaction. Now, I really don't think a whole lot of women are going to go full bore on the entire 4B complete lineup and really withhold all four things: the no marriage, no children, no dating, no sex. So this leaves them with two choices, really. Either become voluntarily celibate for the next decade or two, no sex with anybody, or these straight women are going to have to consider becoming a lesbian. Not only that, but here, I'll wrap up here with my recommendation to these women. To those women who say that they want to do this, they want to join this 4B movement, there's two things you can do. Number one, scrape your dating profile off of all the dating sites. Get off of there because you've said that you're not going to date. So get off the dating sites. Wipe that profile off of there. No more free dinners at a man's expense. So if you're really going to do this, do it right. Get off the dating sites. Because men are looking for someone that they can have a relationship with, that they can have children with, that they can have sex with. And since you're not offering any of that, get off the dating sites. Next, any women that are using Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, if they're going to ascribe to this 4B movement, get rid of all your pictures where you're in a bikini or some suggestive lingerie, anything that men might find sexually attractive, scrape all of that off of all your social media. Otherwise, you're signaling to men, look at me, I want to be the focus of your desire, but I have no intention of following through. So get rid of all that. And finally, all the women that want to do this 4B movement, shut down your OnlyFans account. Again, if you don't want to be involved with men, and men are the ones who are coming to your OnlyFans account to oogle and drool over your bizarre little show that you got going on there, you need to reject that attention from men and shut that thing down. So there's my gauntlet. There's my challenge to these women who say they want to be part of this 4B movement. If you're really hardcore about it, get off the dating sites, get off the social media, shut down your OnlyFans, adopt a box full of cats, and start buying D batteries by the case at Costco.